Last time on Our Neighbor's a Murderer. 3 roommates continue the search for clues to find out if their neighbor across the street, Professor X, murdered his lover, Nancy. We rejoin the gang in their pursuit of truth on Our Neighbor's a Murderer.
Out the window late one night, we saw a terrifying sight. Our neighbor murdering his wife.
Allegedly.
We search for clues to find the truth.
Please help me.
To catch a killer on the loose.
There's blood everywhere.
Become the greatest roommate sleuths.
Anybody got any clues?
Hello! Welcome to another episode of Our Neighbor's a Murderer, and he might have murdered Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon's not here today.
That's my across the hall across the hall roommate.
Well, I mean,
Michelle.
the hall is very wide. Hi, listeners. The hallway is actually like, I would say guesstimate 6 feet, because if I lay down, I don't reach the other end.
I honestly sometimes I'm like, they should add a crossing guard to this hallway because there's so much traffic. There's so many people that live in our building that it gets crazy sometimes.
No, it's as soon as one person opens the door, it's like everyone else opens the door. And it's kind of like the opening scene of Beauty and the Beast, where it's like, bonjour, bonjour, but we're like, hi, hi.
Yeah, and I'm like, leave me alone. No, I don't want a flyer. People, they're like passing out flyers and stuff.
Guy, why don't you ever want one of my flyers?
Because I don't want to go see your improv comedy show, Michelle.
Oh, well, it's for all the grandmas at my grandma together club.
And I'm sure it's hilarious. I'm sorry.
It's fine. You know what? They say, well, I can't remember what they say because I'm 82, but they tell me to say yes. And what's the other word? I can't remember.
I think it's yes and?
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh.
I think it's yes, take your pills, eat some prunes, and sleep.
Oh, that's sweet. They really care about you.
Yeah. Isn't that what improv is? It's eating prunes and going to sleep.
I mean, I might have to Google it later.
Okay.
But for now, let's check up on Professor X in a segment we like to call, What's He Up To Over There? Oh, well, he's on a walkie-talkie.
Oh my gosh.
Who do you think he's talking to?
I haven't seen a walkie-talkie since I saw Stranger Things.
Oh, that's a good show.
It is a good show.
Did you see season 2?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You know what I have a problem with? I can never remember what happens in any show I watch. Like when I think back, it's been so long. Like what even happened in season 2? I don't remember.
All I can remember is it's set in the 80s. That's literally it.
I remember that Will is like, I remember the end of season 1, Will has like these things.
Spoilers!
Dropping out of his mouth. Spoiler alert.
Spoilers!
Some sort of demons. I don't know. I think he's turning into a Demogorgon.
A Demogorgon.
Yeah, I think he's turning into one. Anyway, who do you think he's talking to on the walkie-talkie? Because like walkie-talkies, like you have to have another talkie or another walkie to talkie.
A walkie. You have to have another walkie to talkie.
So there must be another person somewhere talking to him.
I don't know. I hope so.
Unless, do you think he's just like on the open airwaves, just waiting for someone to find him? Sometimes I think he's lonely.
Sometimes I think he's evil. I do. And you know what? I wish, I used to have this old walkie-talkie. I wish we could get it and see if we could hear what he was saying.
And tune into the same station.
Yeah.
Wait, his lips are definitely moving. He's definitely talking to someone.
Oh my God. Or do you think that's just an old phone?
Oh, one of those brick phones?
A brick phone, a brick and mortar phone.
Oh, maybe it's just a phone.
I can't tell. I mean, back in my day, we used to have brick and mortar phones, but now
do you have a smartphone?
I
you
do.
Upgraded?
I have, and you know what? Now I've been using it for about 2 years, and I can't remember what life was like before.
Michelle, that might not be because of the phone. That might just be your age.
No, it's definitely the phone. It's the phone.
Have you been forgetting other things or just...
No, I read an article online that said when people use cell phones, they forget how to communicate.
Okay. Well, just If you need any help getting back to your apartment after this, just...
It's across the hall, the long hall.
It's a busy street.
It is a busy street. You know, but people get bonus points for walking little old ladies across the road, so...
And you know, I know someone that would definitely love to help you cross the street.
Aww.
And that is our next guest. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We are so excited to have you. You obviously wrote into us because you have some sort of connection. But first, before we get to that, let's introduce yourself to the podcast listeners.
Okay. My name is Darla Chapman.
Darla, welcome, Darla.
Welcome,
oh my
Darla.
God. I'm too excited to be here. I'm from Spokane, Washington.
Wow.
Been there.
I have not.
I've never been to the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, you've got to go.
I feel like I would like it there.
Michelle is not much of a traveler.
Okay.
I've been to Florida, and then I've been here. I've been to Florida. I've been here, and I've been to Florida, and then I've been here.
Well, Florida's kind of rainy, and Spokane's kind of rainy.
Is it rainy? Oh my gosh.
It's, you know, the whole Pacific Northwest is pretty rainy. So I think you would understand the humidity.
Yes, and that's probably why I couldn't go there, because my curly hair would just go whoop, whoop, whoop.
So what did you do in Spokane? Spokane.
I am the current director of Camp Crestview in Spokane, Washington.
Wow.
So I'm a camp director.
So you still live there?
I do.
Wow.
Born and raised and built a life.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Well, I admire that. Good for you.
Thank you.
I never went to camp when I was younger.
Oh.
And I feel like that is why I don't have friends. Thoughts?
Okay. Well, maybe is my first thought. But you know, I'm sure it's a little bit deeper than that, and I'm sure you have friends.
No, he doesn't.
But I will say that camp gives you a good friend foundation. You learn a lot of team building skills at a place like camp.
I went to a camp when I was younger with the Girl Scouts, and it was called Camp Metamora, but we called it Camp Meta Yucca because we all got food poisoning. And I remember puking up onto I had those light up shoes. When you walked, they lit up.
Yeah.
And
you don't happen to know who catered your camp, do you?
Oh, oh my gosh. I think they were called Avery Brothers.
No.
Yes.
Avery Brothers?
Avery Brothers Catering.
Well, as you can guess, they went out of business because they used products way past their sell-by date.
And we ate a lot of mayonnaise. This was in the Midwest.
Well,
my camp.
That's why you guys puked.
That was half of the meal.
Guys, I just remembered I do have some friends that I made recently.
Okay.
I have Lucas and Mike and Nancy and
Are you just reading a list of
these are
pictures?
Guy, these are characters from Stranger Things. We literally just talked about it.
But they're my friends. Right?
You know, one of the other things that camp teaches you is really how to be without technology.
Ooh,
yes, I was
can't.
just talking about this. I was just telling Guy it's bad for you.
I've been texting this whole time. I will say I've gotten so good at multitasking that I'm texting right now while I'm saying this to you, and I can say Darla and Michelle, and like I know all this information. You're a camp counselor, but I'm like texting my friend right now.
Yeah, and that's, you know, normally I would say that wouldn't fly at Camp Crestview.
No.
That would not fly. We take the phones, we put them in a Ziploc bag, we keep them in the counselor cabin.
And Ziploc bags are very hard to open.
I've
tried.
We double bag them.
Oh my gosh. And I think that is amazing, because I just can't stand young people nowadays walking around just facing their phone, not looking up, not looking where they're going. Where are they going? Where are you going? You're not looking.
I mean, you should see some of these kids who come to camp. Just don't even know how to make eye contact with people. Because they're so invested with their phones, and they have been for their whole life.
Who are you texting?
I wanted to say that you make extremely good eye contact. You have not lowered your gaze this entire time. You're either staring directly into my eyes or directly into Michelle's eyes, and you never blink.
That's true. And thank you for noticing. That's something I've been working on all my life. And, honestly, it's the camp way. So thank you for noticing that.
I also wanted to say just probably like a minute ago, when I said I was texting while talking to you, I said that I was texting a friend and I was talking about my mom. So I didn't want you guys to think that I have friends and I was lying earlier, because I really don't.
Well, many people say that your mother is your first friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
I guess, but some people don't count it. And like, she's more of like a friend of me. It's like a weird.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Like, honestly, when I was a kid, I would have loved to have gone to camp to get away, if you know what I mean.
Well, I feel like camp is magical. You meet a ton of friends. They're your friends your entire life. I learned how to make a bird feeder out of popsicle sticks.
One time, my mom kicked me out of the house and locked me out for like 2 days. So I built a tiny camp in our backyard.
I think the most amazing part of that story is that you were locked out of your home for 2 days, but you stayed in the proximity of your home.
Well, she said don't wander.
And you just
Honestly,
rummaged found objects into a camp in your backyard.
Yeah. Honestly, she might not have locked. I was throwing a temper tantrum. She didn't really lock the door.
Okay. So putting some unnecessary blame on your mother there.
Yeah, I have some issues I'm working out with her. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? Everyone throws a temper tantrum. One time I was at Madjar and I wanted to get both the Simba and the Nala plush toys for myself. And turns out I couldn't afford either one. And I cried, and to the point where I peed my pants at Madjar's.
Wait, Michelle.
And this was recently?
That was last week.
Yeah,
so it was recently.
It was recent because the new Lion King's coming
Hey,
out.
you ran into our apartment and you were like, "Can I borrow a pair of pants?" And we're like, "Wow,
And can I borrow $40? Because those are $20 a plushie. Disney, we already got enough.
We lent her the pants, but
That's kind of you to lend.
money.
I think the most amazing part of that story is that you came basically home and you still asked to borrow pants.
You are such a counselor. Like, everything we say, you're like, you know what's amazing about that? You like always find the positive.
Find the positive.
I'm always finding the positive. And as a camp director, it's mostly my job to listen. Listen to the kids, listen to the counselors, and really try and think about what they're saying and how it impacts camp as a whole.
Have you ever had a kid that is just so out of control that you say, I cannot help this one?
Yes.
We have to let him go.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Alan Fenster. Yes.
That sounds like a terrible kid. I'm not sure why I gasped. I don't
Fenster.
Fenster. Alan Fenster.
Alan Fenster. What did Alan Fenster do?
He was there for 3 weeks in the summer of 2003.
Oh, good year.
And he agreed. That's the year I got married.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yes. Me and my wife for, 16 years.
Wow.
16 years.
16 years come May.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Kids nowadays with the phones, I don't think they could have a marriage that lasts more than 2 days because they're always like, what's the next? What's the next? What's the next
So
thing?
true.
Funny you should mention that. That's the first year I got a cell phone.
Well, doesn't that
So-
just say it all?
That says it all.
That's why I look back and I just so fondly.
Oh my gosh. Well, good for you for,
Thank you.
having that long-term commitment. I just feel young people nowadays that will never have that.
And we try to model that, I think, because Sheila works at the camp too. She's our main caterer. I'll throw her name to your former camp because you said that they had
oh my gosh,
poisoned
please.
food.
Yes, they did. I mean, Camp Metamora would love to rebuild their reputation. So please, I'll get her contact information from you. Oh my God, thank you so much. That would be so great. Oh my God, I will be a camp hero. I'm going to come back and they're going to be like, you're a hero.
Guys, I have to be honest. I said earlier that I can text and listen at the same time, but I am lost. Camp what?
This was she had mentioned earlier that she had gone to a camp and
Wait, let me take notes on my phone.
Oh my gosh, Guy.
Okay, go.
He has, by the way, 2 cell phones. 2.
Honestly, I don't know how anyone affords 2 plans. Not just the phones, but the plans themselves.
I have to be honest.
Oh, I thought you said plants. Oh my God. I'm so embarrassed.
I have to be honest. Earlier when I said I was texting my friend, that was my mom. I lied.
You already told us that.
I'm texting between my 2 phones.
Oh,
I knew it. I
understand
knew
that.
it. I could see him doing that, but I didn't want to embarrass him.
Thank you, Michelle.
Well, Guy, if I could give you some advice.
Let me write this down.
Put the phones down.
Put the phones. Oh my God, wait.
It might be as simple as that.
I was writing that down in my phone.
I know. And I wasn't going to stop you just so you could have this moment on your own.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna put my phones down.
Okay. Let's hear it. Let's see it. They're down. They're down. They're face down on the table. It's okay.
Oh my God.
Let me get my other phones. 1 second. I gotta.
Wait,
How many more phone? How many plans do you pay for an entire family plan?
Yes,
but it's
he
just
does.
you.
I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to embarrass him.
Okay, wait. One in my jacket.
That's 5. I've counted.
I got my back pocket phone just in case
6
for emergencies, and then my shoe phone.
Your
Your
shoe
shoe phone.
My shoe phone, classic from the original Get Smart.
I was about to say, isn't that from a movie or something?
I actually bought the original prop
my
from the show that is
God.
a working phone.
Well, I think that might be worth it.
So that one I will keep because it is also my shoe. But I did
understandable.
I did put the rest of the phones down, and there is a weight lifted off of me.
Not only physical, but emotional.
Mainly physical. But
That was a lot of phones.
Yes, definitely emotional. And I think, wow, I just really needed to disconnect. I get it. Disconnect, because you're like disconnecting the line to the phone. That's why people say that.
They say disconnect.
It's an emotional time. I know. No. Don't cry. Don't cry.
He's going to cry a lot. Because again, the phone, you have that to distract yourself all the time. A guy hasn't cried in years.
Is this an emotion?
This is definitely an emotion, Guy. And
Emotion.
Oh,
Yes.
we really needed a camp counselor in our lives.
hey,
Wow.
I see people crying all the time. And
Oh
I
my
say,
God.
buck up and go look at a tree. It'll make you happy, guarantee.
I was just going to say.
And it rhymes, so it must be true.
I
Bingo.
love that. And I was just going to say, I didn't even notice this window.
Yes.
And there's a view outside.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And there's a tree.
Uh-huh. Yes, sir. You're living it. You're living the
You're
camp
living
magic.
the
Oh my God.
dream.
Once you feel that
Darla,
camp
thank
magic,
you.
you're going to feel life magic. Absolutely. You are
Oh
welcome,
my
Guy.
God. Tell us more about Alan.
I'm so sorry. We got sidetracked about Alan
Yes.
Fenster. Okay.
We did, but I
Summer-
just think you're doing such a service for these kids. You're just like giving
I
them
mean-
out in
Thank you.
nature, out in the real world. And look at Guy. He's running around. Look at him
felt-
run. He's prancing.
I'm skipping through the apartment. I'm skipping through the
you
entire
skip really weirdly.
You go, Guy. You
just
skip away.
I just have to say, I feel like if you could fix me, I feel like I'm the worst of the worst. How bad could this Alan
No.
Fenster be?
Alan was unfixable. He was 8 years old, and you may not think that at 8 you're unfixable, but he was. He
Terrible AIDS.
He made a hot entrance. His first breakfast at camp, he took the blue milk. You know, did you ever have blue milk?
Like
in-
with the blue
No.
top, you mean?
No, I mean
It's blue.
yeah, one of the little fun things.
Were you
that we
eating
do.
blueberries?
We soak. Yes, yes and no. We soak the milk in blueberries overnight.
I knew it.
And then we scoop out the blueberries so that they're like mushy. They're like a mushy snack.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And then the kids like the blue
the
milk.
blue milk.
Now, how do you eat the blueberry? You just eat them like mush, like on their own?
Yeah. It's like a cereal.
Where's the crunch?
It's like half crunch, half mush at that point. It's a lot of kids, their first time at camp are like, this is gross. And then by the end of camp, They're begging their parents to do it at home.
Blue milk, and the parents are probably horrified. Like, what have they been feeding you?
For sure. I have had some formal written complaints before about it, but I've never had a kid not return because of the blue milk.
Okay. Well, you know what? Now there's the blue milk in Star Wars as well. So, I mean,
yes,
kids love it.
But wait, you've had kids not return because of other things?
Yeah. Just like your normal kind of camp, like my daughter broke her leg, my son got lost in the woods for a few days, like those kinds of classic camp things.
Wait. Back up to that last one.
Okay, we had one boy. Well, funny you should mention this. This is where I was going. Alan Fenster got lost in the woods for 3 days.
I could have put that together. He got lost in the woods and...
Yes. Well, it was his own fault. His cabin, the Cherries, were on their way to Vespers, which is our evening song time.
Oh, fun! Why would you miss that?
It's the best part of the camp day, is what I always say.
Yeah.
But he yelled at his whole group something completely unintelligible, and then just tore off. And we had to cancel activities for the.
Oh my God!
I know.
I just watched Stranger Things, and
my friends.
Yeah, with guys' friends, in all the starring roles. And what if he met, what are those called? A Demogorgon.
What if he's in the Upside Down?
Yeah, what if he met a Demogorgon? Have
you seen it?
Have you seen it?
Well, now I have not seen Stranger Things.
Have you seen a Demogorgon?
I've heard some noises in the woods at night, but I don't think anything supernatural.
What explanation
would be out
could
there.
it be other than a demon from another dimension?
Well,
Alan Fenster is missing.
Here's something I'll posit. Maybe Alan is the demon.
Okay.
That's it. I don't have any
Wait
more.
a second. I feel like as a camp counselor, shouldn't you don't want to be on his side of things?
I've wrestled with this a lot over the last 16 years.
We haven't met him, so maybe he truly is evil, but...
He just... When we found him in the woods...
Okay, thank God.
He was alive.
Okay.
He had built... have you ever seen, pictures of what the Aztecs built with the stone? That, when you take an aerial look at them, it's like an entire eagle, but it's like an acre wide and long. He built a whole thing. It was an elephant, which is pretty crafty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say demon or genius.
Well, but he never spoke a language. He never spoke a language that people understood.
Aramaic.
Maybe we called in linguists. We really dipped into the camp budget for this. We called in linguists to see, is this kid just speaking a language that none of us are familiar with? Absolutely no one familiar with the language.
But a lot of young people do that. They do they create their own languages, or even couples sometimes will be like, "Hi, Pookie," or "Hi, little baby bear," and "Hi, honey." And I always wonder, why can't I be in a couple, and why won't anyone call me their little sweet potato?
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
I will say, as the only person that has been possessed by a demon here, I think, unless
I have not been.
I definitely haven't.
So I was possessed by a demon named Jeffrey. He was living inside of my body for about 6 years until 2 nuns were able to release him. And I will say that if it is a demon, then Alan is not totally at fault. The demon has times where he takes over, or she, and is in control. So I think we have to give Alan some benefit of the doubt as to whether he's truly evil or not.
You complimented me earlier on my ability to see the positive in things, and I'm going to throw that right back at you, because maybe I have been too hard on Alan, and
thank you.
I should give him the benefit of the doubt.
I feel like this episode I've really changed a text.
No, guy.
What?
We said no to the phones.
It was from me. I snuck one back and texted myself.
When you were skipping, you snuck a text.
This problem will never end.
Put the phones
It's
down.
your own Demogorgon.
I know. Let's just move on to our next segment called Connecting the Dots. Okay, in this segment, we're going to ask you, Darla, to tell us how you're connected to this whole thing, what you know, and, obviously we have Professor X who lives across the street. We've been watching him, and we have Nancy, who we call her Nancy. She's been missing for a long time, and now Roger, our mailman, has gone missing, and then finally, Josh, who was the neighborhood watch on the second episode of the show, has gone missing as well. And we just think Professor X is up to something. What do you know?
I think I may know Professor X.
Dun, dun, dun.
Based on the descriptions that I hear in this.
Bald.
Well, yes, there was a kid that I went to camp with, Camp Crestview with.
Wait, so the camp you're the head counselor for, you're now, or you used to go there?
I went there as a kid.
Yes, that's what makes the best camp counselors, because you know.
You have like attachment to it.
I do. It's my
That's
home.
Beautiful.
It's my home and it's my heart.
Wait, it's your literal home?
Yes, I live there.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. In the summer, I moved to a normal cabin, but my home is on the campgrounds.
Oh, that's so
lovely.
nice.
It is nice. It's nice. Slice of nature.
Yes, it's good to get out of the city.
It is. And I have barely ever stepped foot in a city, and I understand that.
Yes.
Sometimes I just walk to like my nearest park and just hang out there for a few days.
Hey, I think that's what we all need sometimes.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Bald. Yeah. So there was a bald.
There was a kid who we called Cue Ball. Exclusively called him Cue Ball.
Because he was good at pool.
No.
I think it's-
I mean, he could have been. We didn't have a pool table at camp, but it was because he was completely bald.
Okay. Wait. Like you said just a few seconds ago, Michelle, Professor X was bald. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And if I remember correctly, he loved pasta.
What?
Oh my God, that's him. That's him. That's him.
I think
him.
so.
That's him. Who else loves pasta?
Was he also super into fitness and like always working out?
Yes, would rise for the polar plunge at 6 a.m. and would,
No one does
and
that.
would swim laps.
Oh my God,
I mean,
maniac.
usually it's just a dip in, dip out, but he would swim laps in the pool for polar plunge.
He's definitely insane. So I think
that's gotta
Or
be
an
him.
X-Men.
or a super. Okay. Was there anything that Cue Ball did that you feel like maybe hinted at him being a future murderer?
Well, to carry over our lesson that we learned about Alan, giving people the benefit of the doubt, I do remember Cue Ball being a very nice kid. He was kind of quiet, but he would talk to his friends.
He had friends? What?
No
He
way.
Or maybe they were just his cabin mates and they were being nice to him. I was in the girls' cabin. He was in the boys' cabin.
Wait, but even that is better. I don't have people that are even nice to me.
Well, as you said earlier, you didn't go to camp, Guy.
And also, you've been on your cell phone. It's hard to make friends when you have a cell phone.
Huh? What? Sorry, I'm texting myself.
How do we miss it every time?
We
the
miss it
phone's
every
in your
time.
hand?
No, it's not your fault. I have a few just very, very tiny phones. Look.
Oh, they are
Put
so
them
tiny.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They're down. That's 9. That's 9 total, including your shoe phone.
Yes. I have a question. Did he ever, when you were making s'mores, just light the marshmallow on fire?
And say something like, imagine if this marshmallow was a person.
You know what? Yes to the fire thing, but pretty much the exact opposite for the marshmallow. But I think it could be an argument for murder, because if he would light the marshmallow on fire and just stare at it.
Would he eat it?
No.
Just stare.
He would just watch it burn.
Gotta let it burn.
Until it was like cinders?
Yeah, until it like completely disappeared.
Did he ever eat anything other than pasta?
No, not even the blue milk.
Please, listeners,
my
never
God.
eat pasta. Or honestly, maybe don't drink that blue milk either. It sounds kind of weird.
Yeah. I think anything that shouldn't be blue. I don't know. Anyway.
But
Don't eat anything blue or pasta.
These are the only rules to live by.
Yes.
he did give a presentation at the end of the season once.
Was he asked to?
No. He asked to
No!
give a
Okay, wait!
presentation.
He has to be a killer. No one asks to give a presentation?
What kind of monster asked to give a presentation?
And in those days, I mean, we're not talking PowerPoint. This was pure speech.
I'm disgusted. 15 minutes?
Closer to 45.
No.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Memorize?
Memorized.
Any note cards?
But he had one of those big flip pages with only drawings.
And let me guess, his friends were in the front row.
His cabin was in the front row, correct.
Guy, I'm sure that one of your phones would record you if you gave a presentation.
Wait, you're right. My phones. They're my friends.
Oh no, that
No,
was the opposite
Guy.
of what I'm sorry.
No,
This is why I
Guy.
couldn't be a camp counselor.
do
I think
have
I just I broke it.
Think about it. They call me?
Guy, why don't you take another skip around the apartment?
Okay.
See what it feels like to be free again.
I'm so sorry. Again, you're such a weird skipper.
Honestly, your wrists won't thank you later in life.
Well, I've been texting so much. I'm pure muscle. Look at them.
Oh my
Bulging.
God,
Oh.
you're right.
They're twice as big as the average wrist.
Yeah, and it
I'd
just
say.
gets really thin when you get to my arm.
uncomfortably thin from wrist to elbow.
Like imagine my wrist is like a bicep, and then my arm is like a little deer leg.
It's like Popeye. It's like Popeye, but if his arm was only half, the bulge was only
Like
half
I only
the
got
forearm.
like a spoonful of spinach.
Can I ask a question? Do you have like a little like camp song? Because like at Camp Metamora, we had a little camp song. So I'm curious if your
Yes.
camp has a little camp song. If you wouldn't mind.
We do have a little camp.
Can we hear it?
Yes.
It's one that is it. We used to sing this all the time, but I think it's a song that everybody knows.
Okay.
I never went to camp.
Well, it's a song that Peter, Paul, and Mary recorded. Do you know Peter, Paul, and Mary?
Are
They're
they
banned from the
Stranger
60s.
Things?
Oh, I thought they were
characters?
biblical.
Oh, I thought
Well,
they were
that as
Stranger
well.
Things characters.
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
No to the Stranger Things. Yes to the biblical. But they're, I think it's Peter, Paul, and Mary. But it's called If I Had a Hammer. You know this song? It goes, if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. I'd hammer in the evening. All over this land. I'd hammer out danger. I'd hammer out warning. I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my
Stop
sisters.
texting, Guy.
I'm sorry. I got distracted and I had a funny joke I wanted to tell myself.
No, I was here.
About what?
I was here lost in song. And by the way, you have a beautiful voice. Your
Thank
wife
you.
is very lucky. And
Thank
you are
you.
here. I have never gotten upset on the podcast, but you are disrespect. This is me at 84 years old. I am tired of kids on their cell phones.
Michelle, wait! Don't grab the hammer! No, please stop! Oh, no!
Remember what the hammer teaches us in the song. Remember what the hammer teaches us.
No, stop! All my phones, my friends.
I left one.
You left me with one phone.
Guy, I don't know if I could be a camp counselor, but you cannot keep texting yourself. It's not
Michelle,
good.
give me the hammer.
Why?
No.
I'm gonna do the last phone.
Only if you're ready.
I don't trust it.
It's gonna be the phone. I swear. I'm not gonna hurt anyone.
It's the tiniest one.
Ugh, I missed.
It bounced. Where did it go?
God
Did
damn
we
it.
see where it went?
I don't know. I think
Yeah,
it fell on the floor somewhere.
It's a really tiny
Well,
one.
maybe hopefully I'll step on it on my way out.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Guy,
I'm
I
proud
wanna-
of you.
you saw. I was gonna smash
I was
it.
You
proud.
were. You tried?
I have to ask because I did actually hear part of the song and I know it was about a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Cue Ball loved that song for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Something about a hammer. Maybe. I know you guys have theories.
Did you ever see him while you were singing that song just hold his hands together in a triangle and tap his fingertips together like
Mr. Burns?
like Mr. Burns? Exactly.
He did have his eyes closed the whole time when we would sing that song in particular and would just kind of gently nod. And maybe he had his fingertips together, but But if he did, he always kind of Angela Merkel'd them. So not up like Mr. Burns, but like
down by his
down.
waist. Yes. That's even more evil because he's pointing towards the devil.
The ground, yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, he did have quirks. But you know, I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Well, I think we solved it.
I think we've like truly figured it out, and I think we know exactly who's to blame. What we do know is that there's a kid. Brandon would say we didn't solve it.
Brandon would say we didn't solve it.
Usually Michelle and I get super excited every time we have a guest. And we're like, we solved it, and Brandon's like, no, we didn't.
And this is what I think. And then he would usually say like, if you wanna email us clues,
yeah. You can email us at sleuthmates@gmail.com. And then he spells it, but I don't know how to spell it.
And then he says a number that you can text.
You can also text a number. I had it in my phone, but...
Oh, yeah, we
smashed
them all.
So I guess all that's left to do is rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes so we can solve this case and figure out what happened to Nancy, Roger, and Josh, and Alan. I'm still worried about Alan.
I'll do a Facebook search and I'll get back to you.
Okay. I hope he's okay. And remember, love thy neighbor, or they might just murder you. Bye.
So many questions left to answer. Will the sleuthmates find more helpful clues? Will there be a big break in the case? Will I ever get paid for my work on the podcast? The answer to all is most likely no, but why chance it? Find out next time on Our Neighbor's a Murderer.